Hulk versus Iron Man. Rage against the machine. The desert air crackled with tension. Beneath a copper sky that mirrored the simmering sands, Bruce Banner stood with clenched fists, his breathing shallow, heart racing. Far off on the horizon, a lone speck approached, growing larger by the second. It was a familiar sight, sleek, crimson, and gold. A glimmering figure streaking through the air like an avenging comet. Tony Stark. Bruce closed his eyes, feeling the beast stir within him. He didn't want this fight. Not again. But the world had other plans, and today, like so many times before, he was caught between rage and reason, torn apart by forces beyond his control. The speck landed with a thunderous crash, sending shockwaves through the ground. Dust swirled around Iron Man's gleaming armor as Tony Stark rose from a crouch, his faceplate sliding open with a soft hiss. His expression was grim. "Bruce," Tony said, his voice low and measured, "we don't have to do this." Bruce shook his head, his lips twitching in a bitter smile. "You think I have a choice?" His eyes glowed faintly green, betraying the storm brewing beneath his skin. "You always have a choice," Tony countered, stepping forward. "But you've been off the grid for months, and now you're tearing through military bases like a wrecking ball. You're scaring people, Bruce." "They're coming after me," Bruce growled. "You know what happens when they chase me, when they corner me." Tony sighed. "I know, but this isn't the way." Bruce laughed darkly. "Funny, coming from the guy who built a suit to stop me." Tony's jaw tightened. "That was a long time ago. I'm not here to stop you, Bruce. I'm here to help you, but you have to trust me." Bruce took a deep breath, trying to steady himself, but the rage was rising. Clawed at him, screaming to be let loose. His muscles tensed, and his skin began to ripple, veins bulging as the transformation loomed. "Too late," Bruce whispered, his voice thick with anguish. "He's already here." Before Tony could react, Bruce doubled over with a guttural roar. His body convulsed, expanding and contorting as the Hulk erupted from within him. In seconds, Bruce was gone, replaced by a towering, green-skinned juggernaut. The Hulk raised his head and glared at Tony with bloodshot eyes. "Iron Man," he bellowed, his voice like thunder rolling across the desert. "Hulk smash!" Tony's faceplate snapped shut as he leapt back, jet thrusters flaring to life. "All right, big guy," he muttered, locking onto Hulk with his targeting systems. "Let's dance." Hulk charged, each footfall shaking the earth. He swung a massive fist, and Tony barely dodged in time, the blow missing him by inches and smashing a crater into the ground. "Okay, note to self," Tony quipped, firing a repulsor blast at Hulk's chest. "Do not get hit." The blast staggered Hulk, but only for a moment. With a deafening roar, he lunged at Tony again, swatting him out of the air like a fly. Tony crashed into a rocky outcrop, shattering stone and sending debris flying. "Jarvis," Tony groaned as he struggled to his feet. "Give me a damage report." "Armor integrity at 72%, Jarvis replied calmly. "Might I suggest a tactical retreat?" Tony grinned. "Retreat? Where's the fun in that?" Hulk was already charging again, his massive fists pounding the ground as he barreled toward Tony like a freight train. Tony fired up his thrusters and rocketed into the sky, circling around to flank the Hulk. "Let's see how you like this," Tony said, deploying a cluster of micromissiles. The missiles streaked toward Hulk, exploding on impact and engulfing him in a cloud of fire and smoke. For a moment there was silence. Then, with a feral snarl, Hulk emerged from the smoke, unharmed and angrier than ever. "Oh, come on," Tony muttered. "That was my A-game." Hulk leapt into the air with astonishing speed, grabbing Tony mid-flight and slamming him into the ground with bone-crushing force. Tony's armor groaned under the impact, warning lights flashing across his HUD. "Okay, Hulk," Tony wheezed, trying to power up his repulsors again. We really need to talk about your anger issues. Hulk raised a fist, ready to deliver the final blow, but then he hesitated. His eyes flickered, and for a brief moment it wasn't just Hulk looking out. It was Bruce. "Tony," Bruce's voice rumbled, buried beneath Hulk's growl. "Stop me." Tony seized the opportunity. He activated his sonic cannons, blasting Hulk with high-frequency sound waves designed to disorient and calm him. Hulk roared in pain, clutching his head, but the sound waves were working. Slowly, his massive form began to shrink, muscles receding, skin paling. In moments, Bruce Banner lay on the ground, trembling and exhausted. Tony deactivated the cannons and knelt beside his friend. "Bruce, you okay?" Bruce looked up at him, his eyes weary but grateful. "I think so." Tony helped him to his feet. "Come on, let's get you somewhere safe. We'll figure this out together." Bruce nodded, leaning on Tony for support. "Thanks, Tony." "Hey, what are friends for?" Tony said with a wink. As they walked away, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the desert. For now, the beast was at rest, and two friends stood together once more, ready to face whatever came next.